Hello and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to dive into the fact that have you ever wondered that money is actually fake? It's printed out of thin air and it's going to enslave you to do the same thing every single day in your life in order to achieve something. It's like a rat race. By the way, I think I look much more handsome with the sunglasses. That's the reason why I keep them on, and it's been like what you guys ask me. So, have you guys ever wondered about that one? That, like, most people spend years believing a kind of comforting lie that money is just a personal matter, that it's something that you earn and it's something that you spend. But it is beyond that. It's like you're a part of the system, because when you're a part of the system and you have rent to pay, you have debts, you have to run out and do this kind of things. And the government would like the people to work, and that's what's happening. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's the truth. But most people don't really understand how the system works. And in this video we're going to talk about that, which is a very interesting kind of thing. So, something, you save the money for comfort, and after the certain age that you are, let's say, comfortable, there are some things beginning to reveal that money is just not the economic, it's political. Not because it buys everything, but because it shapes the decisions. It decides where you can stand, what you can actually have, what you must tolerate, and which injustices you are focused to stay silent about. I mean, imagine you have to work a kind of job and you have a boss and you don't really like your boss. He's a toxic guy, but they know that you cannot afford to lose a job, so you cannot walk away. So you're part of a system that you feel like it's not fair, but you don't have another option. So that's why you keep doing. By the way, this is a very common scenario in a lot of people's lives, because most people, they don't like their lives. They have to do a 9 to 5 so that they can pay their stuff, and then on the weekend they have to go to the party and try to do some stuff so that they can actually tolerate their life. So there's the alcohol and different kind of things like smoking and caffeine and intimacy that they try to rely on so that they can tolerate the life. But you, my friend, are actually different. You can understand the life on a deeper level, and you're ready for a different kind of change. Because these are not like the solution, these are temporal things. Like, they don't really address the problem, they just cover it up, but soon it's going to, like, come back. So that's the thing. So this isn't a theory, it's a reality. And there is a lie of that it's not about money. A lot of people, you tell them, okay, let's do this, and they say, no, it's not about money. But that's all nonsense. Behind all the closed doors, the money and finances kind of decide everything. It decides who can say no, who has the power, who must explain themselves, who can walk away. Usually the strongest guy can walk away, they don't expect anything. And who must endure everything politely. Usually the weakest people in a kind of hierarchy of the power, they have to do some stuff, and they will be the lowest people in there, and they cannot really afford to lose anything. So people will try to exploit them, and they know it. So it's the scenario that happens everywhere. It doesn't matter what the job is, it's like that. And that's the beauty of it. Like to the ones who have everything, more will be given. From the ones who have nothing, everything will be taken. Life is not fair. That's the truth. I have also made another video about Machiavellism. I link it down in the description. You can check that one out. It goes to the whole concept of, once you really grow up and become a man in the society, you understand a lot of things that you were taught were nonsense, and the reward is running on another level. And that's a very interesting kind of concept. So, hating the system isn't the weakness. Denying that the system is broken is a weakness. Denial kind of freezes you. Awareness gives you leverage. And after you come around your senses, let's say about 30, money reveals its true nature and role, not luxury, not a status, not comparison. It is the freedom. Freedom means one thing about all the things, like the ability to leave. Leave the toxic environments, leave the disrespectful kind of relationships, and leave situations you tolerate only because you have no kind of alternative. You don't have any other kind of option to walk away. So here is the harsh truth. Where there is no exit, justice rarely survives. Not because people are evil, but because the power always responds to dependency. If you're dependent, then you don't have a lot of power. But if you can walk away, then do you understand what I mean? Let me elaborate, make sure you understand. Imagine like someone is working in an environment and they don't have another option. That's the best option that they have. They will be very loyal, they will be clocking in every single day, but they're not going to grow, they're not going to become successful. They have that stable job for all their lives. But someone smarter finds a better option, goes to the boss, say, hey, I like to work here, but I also have this option. Then they're gonna be treated differently because they're gonna be like, okay, you have that option, let me think. Then they're gonna treat you differently. They're gonna be like, okay, you can do a bit more. Maybe they give you a better offer in terms of this stipend. But I know it's not a simple thing. You cannot just go and say, hey, I have a better option. They say, okay, go to your other option. It doesn't work like that. You need to go very specifically, smoothly, watch the things that you do so it would be proper way. Because, power is pure psychology. You cannot just command the presence. You need to make people like you, and then they would be on your side and you would be a leader. That's the thing. If you're the leader, you would help them. But if you're the boss, you just rule them, they're gonna overthrow you. But if you're a leader, they're gonna actually love you for that fact. And that is a very interesting thing. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. And so when someone knows you're dependent, the boundaries kind of loosen. Respect becomes conditional and pressure becomes normal. So they would pressurize you. That's the thing. Imagine you would be knowing this, you would do the same. It's pure kind of honest, naked truth. But when someone knows you can walk away, the tone changes, the rules kind of shift, negotiation begins. This is the moment where money, skills, and savings, and of course independence, stop being financial topics and become psychological power shifts and tools. And as we progress, psychological power is a very deep kind of concept. I need to dive deeper into this. Let me know if you guys want me to go deeper into this because it would require more time to be spent on it. So there is a law that applies to the relationships also. This logic doesn't stop at only working and making money. It's also proven in the relationships. Not everyone deserves your forgiveness in the same way. Let's be honest. Not everyone is the same. Imagine you are in a jungle and a snake bites you. You would run away, right? Okay. Then let's imagine like that. There was a toxic person in your life. He or she was like a snake. They bit you. You should run away from them. But what you do is that you would go back to them and you would explain it to them that, hey, what you did was not right. Why did you beat me? Well, the nature of that snake is to bite you. So you should it's dumb to even try that. It's pointless. So you should just run for your life and go somewhere else with someone else. And that's a very logical thing. But when it comes down to the reality, I notice that we're emotional and we get attached to the things and we don't really think with our head, we think with our heart, and that's where the things kind of get complicated. I just go and see how many people get married and get divorced. They did not get married to end up single. They had an idea, and before you actually propose to someone, you can go and see how many wedding rings are on the sale, and they used to be belonging to some people. I'm not a pessimist, I'm just telling you think perfectly fine prior to doing something, because you need to be completely prepared. So sometimes forgiveness, means removing access entirely, like the snake scenario that I mentioned. After a certain age, keeping the destructive people close to yourself is not kindness. It's just stupidity. It's being insane. It's self erosion. Here's one of the hardest kind of lessons that I personally learned in my life based on my own experience. People rarely change because you explain things better or because you suffered quietly. They change when benefits are removed. Period. Sometimes consequences must teach them that you're not going to be there all the time. So your revenge would be you leaving them. And they understand, okay, if he's gone, then I cannot really have these things. Then when they see you again, they're going to act differently. Of course, it's not like one size fits all and you have to do this to everybody. Some people, they need forgiveness. You can show them a nice kind of gesture, but not all people. You help them out once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. What the hell, man? Every single time you forgive them, what for? Yeah, it doesn't work like that. If it's like more than 2 or 3 times, they need to change the scenario. You need to change the strategy, because old ways will not open the new doors. You need to come up with a new solution so you can actually respect yourself. Look, everything that happens these days is because of the respect. If you don't respect yourself, no one else is going to respect you. Your value is judged less by intention and more by the signals. How you stand, how clearly you speak, how much you explain, and which boundaries you protect without drama. Real power is not speaking louder or saying everything or reacting immediately. Real power is the ability to pause, is the ability to choose your response, is the ability not to collapse when others expect you to do. Also, the music is made by the silence in the notes. If you want to listen to a song and the singer will be shouting all the time, you're not gonna like it. You prefer the song when there are pauses on the notes, and it would make it musical and you enjoy it. Also in life, sometimes you need to just slow down, listen, and then based on the illicit that you get, you can perform better. If you just have to talk all the time, it doesn't work like that. And if you don't get a mutual respect, these days, of course, because a lot of women are just radical feminists. They say, hey, don't tell me what I do. I want to do this. I want to do that. That doesn't work like that. So you'd be better off with someone that respects you. You don't deserve that kind of toxic person. So you choose you over them, and then after a while, you will find the right person in your life. And I'm just telling you as a personal experience that I had. If you can be fully happy when you're alone and you don't put it on someone to make you happy, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be super successful, super rich, and a lot of people want to be with you because they want you. Because they don't feel like you need them. Because life is not like you need something and something will be given to you. Look at like the homeless. They need money, but money doesn't go to them because they're desperate, because they're stupid. But the people who know the rules, everything would go to them. The world would offer them everything. You're different because you have watched until this part. So I'm going to give you an extra hint. Reputation is built quietly. When these patterns kind of repeat, something forms. Not through arguments, not through defense, through consistency. Because without consistency, nothing will work out. Without commitment, you won't start. That was a famous quote. And through consistency, the thing about reputation will happen. And the reputation that, enters the room before you go inside, a reputation that makes some people careful and others to step aside. That is a very important thing. That's like a very powerful move. Like, look at the presidents and the famous kind of celebrities. They all have this kind of, confidence. this kind of reputation that precedes them, and everyone will be liking them for who they are. That's what I'm talking about. So if you don't respect yourself, you will be treating yourself like a doormat. Everyone will be walking all over you. They don't see you as a human being. Along this path, people may call you cold, calculating, or changed. This usually isn't a flaw, it means guilt, chaos, and emotional kind of pressure no longer work on you. So they want to just, let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Because the journey to success is a journey that is difficult. Otherwise, everybody will be successful. You think no one wants to be a celebrity, no one likes to make a lot of money? Everybody wants. But no one will get there because majority of people don't want to do that work. 98% of the society is just lazy. So the only real victory, the goal is not the constant war. The goal is building a safe place inside yourself. A place where you can be kind without becoming a victim, and generous without being drained, and loving becomes a part of that without being blind, and some people trying to take advantage of you because you're generous and all these kind of things, because it happens. Like women these days, I mean, no offense if you're a woman, but majority of women, they're taking advantage of the men, and they weaponize their kind of body and the fact that they're a woman because they can choose the intimacy, and they kind of make the guy do stuff, and that's not a really healthy thing. Some women are like that, and if you are, let's say, familiar with the female psychology, you understand that sooner than later that they're not like men, they don't think like men, they don't respond like men, they're completely different. There was a famous quote that said that women are not humans, they're like something else. But I think that's just too much. Women, I love women. I have a mother, a sister, and everything. They're amazing, but sometimes they're very different. They think differently because the psychology is completely different. The evolution is different. I have completely explained this topic in one of my videos about the fact that we used to be hunter-gatherers and we had different roles. So right now you say men and women are equal. It's a very stupid thing because, well, they're not, and that's very obvious. So, if I want to conclude this video, I would say if you owe yourself one real debt, it is this: to build a life where even if the world is unfair, you can still stand with dignity, with freedom and peace. I know, my mate, it's a very difficult thing. It's easier said than done. But look around yourself. Look at your parents, look at your friends, look at your family. Who do you want to be like? You want to be like them? I don't think so. So you need to have a clear idea who you want to be like. And then through that, you can be the leading actor of your own life and put everything together. If it's not perfectly fine, it's great because it's not the end of the scene at the moment. You still have the story to finish. You have to keep on pushing. If it gets boring, if it gets strange, if it gets tiring, exhausting, just keep on pushing, don't stop, and good things will happen at the other end. If you like this video, feel free to share it with some of your mates and comment down below what you guys think. I will read all the comments, and I also have my Instagram in the description of the channel. You can send me a message right there. I'll also read that, and you're probably gonna like one of the videos that pop on the screen. So until the next one, have a good time and bye. But I really look much cooler with the sunglasses on, right? I think so.